Well, the company is Hotstar. Based on our research, we found that Hotstar scores an A star on content, but the user experience is still a massive fail, and we believe that they can do much better. I'm Shweta, this is Ranveer, and this is Ankur. Before we deep dive into the issue at hand and the strategy which we propose to overcome, I would like to give you a quick background on the company itself. Now, Hotstar was launched by Star India, and it's owned by Novi Digital Entertainment. Hotstar offers content in 8 different languages across various different platforms, such as web, Android, iOS, etc. Hotstar in India has some of the most in-demand world content. It has strategic partnerships with Disney, HBO, and it provides various movies, latest movies such as Finding Dory, Jungle Book, Star Wars, many Marvel superhero movies, Game of Thrones, and many, many more content. That is not to mention that it also provides live streaming of cricket and other popular sports. So in a nutshell, Hotstar is doing pretty well when it comes to acquiring content. It has a hybrid revenue model, and till date it has around 75 million subscribers, and the plan costs about $3 approximately per month. Moving on to the market share, as you can see, these are the various competitors for Hotstar, and Hotstar has the majority of the market share at 69.4%. Some of the other competitors are Prime Video and Netflix, which most of you must be knowing who they are. Others maybe not so much. Building on this, here we can see how popular Hotstar is amongst the audiences compared to other competitors. The pink bar represents Hotstar, and you can see that 50% of the smartphone users in India have downloaded the Hotstar app. While Hotstar has done great in acquiring content, the app still remains in a fairly broken state, and it's high time that we do something about it. Moving on to assumptions. Since we had limited access to information and we had to make some assumptions which are listed on this slide, such as the proposed strategy will be implemented in the last quarter of 2019. At present, there are limited resources to create an advanced data analytics team. And lastly, the proposed strategy is based on the 2017 and 2018 data. And a big part of the strategy we're proposing today is based on the assumption that this data is reliable. Moving on to the problem statement.
Next thing, problem statement. As we all know, the roots of every single thing is to create revenue at the end of the day, wherever we look at. So we're focusing on creating 10% more of that. But what is the company going wrong at? They're losing customers, which they already have. Their revenue generates from customers staying along with them. They are at the top, but why do they lose the customers? First of all, Netflix provides you a platform where you can go and view your data or your video streaming that you're doing in a different device at the same time. But whereas Hotstar stores the data in your same particular device. So imagine if you go and log into your laptop, you will not get the same data that you were watching. It will not continue from the same time period. And nor would the recommendations be the same. It would start all over as a loop. When you come into next perspective, terrible customer experience that they're facing right now. They are the prime one holding HBO at the same time, the best competitor going on to Netflix. They hold Disney. But at the same time, when you do not give customers the right feedback, and customers get overcharged sometimes because of certain reasons. But as being Indians, they provide us the number one sports platform. That's cricket. Now we're into love. That's why they're holding such a big population. Moving up next, the proposition that we're providing them, how to be better than what they are right now, is number one, to hire a team of data analytics who will look into the customer's feedback and who will present on top of it. Second thing, they just now partnered up with ZAPR. It's a media firm that will look into their content and secure them. Sorry about that. Next, we want to implement machine learning tools into it to take a certain feedback which is going continuous with the customer's feedback, how we're going to process the data and how we're going to keep the customer satisfied, because that's our main agenda. Moving up next.
Yeah. So, as Randir told you guys, our strategies, data strategies. Now, these strategies need to be put in a machine. So, we have a machine like data structure for our company. First, initially, it's data acquisition, the most important part. What kind of a data we are gathering and how we can use this data. So, through our apps, subscribers, and content watched. Actually, content watched as in like how many minutes a person is watching, how many minutes like they are watching a same kind of ad, as in we are getting this kind of data through our own channels and all. So we have a team, or I guess we can say a department, database administration to handle this. Then we extract the data like ETL, extraction, transform, and load into our Zapper repository, data repository, which will be the integration. Now, the most important is how we analyze and reporting the data. So we are using few techniques like machine learning, BI tools, and visualization to gather more insights so that we can have a proper decision making. So this is a whole machine kind of things to get a proper decision to acquire more customer and in the end to get a more profit. And according to the data management and the data governance rules and regulations. Now, we have a short-term score. We have short-term goals and we'll put into that data structure and we'll get some output accordingly. So, now we are going to improve customers' user experience. First, what we think is we should sync all devices under user accounts, one single user accounts. Anybody can access anything with any device anywhere in the world. Now, better recommendation based on watch and search history. Because everybody is doing the same thing according to search history, they are analyzing what the people are wanting. But for the next level, we are recommending we should use a machine learning, as in we'll talk about later. Browsing optimization. Browsing optimization as in when we watch or browse something, but like we are in the middle of the page and we need to get out of that page. But initially when we get to the page, we want the exact position where were we. But for the browsing optimization, we can do that. Add space of optimization, like you have a phone in your hand. What happens when you got the like 50% of the screen is occupied by ad? It doesn't make sense. So we have to get few more ads and we can use like few percentage of the screen space to get to show the ads. Now scrolling options. Scrolling option is as in VOD platform must be used. It's like video on demand platforms like plus 10 seconds and minus 10 seconds. If you move forward the video in single click, it should be go up to the 10 seconds or it should be backward to the 10 seconds. It's not like second wise. Fix all other app issues, video quality across devices, app crashes. Now, okay. Now, long-term goals. Long-term goals is like Hotstar basically is famous for Indian Premier Leagues. It's like a cricket league in India. So they got famous just because of this. But besides this, they are using like HBO content and Netflix content and other channels content. But they don't have like their original content or shows. So what we are suggesting is they should personalize, use the collaborative findings model. Local collaborative finding model. It's like we are specifically getting the customer from a specific region by analyzing through machine learning and all. So, financial.
Next thing we move on to the financial. The initial cost that we want to implement after they have tied up with Zapper is 3 million rupees, INR rupees. And out of them, which we're going to use a hiring cost of the team, which we're going to put into will be 1.5 million. A software that will keep a continuous check on them, that will be initially invested 1 million into. Next, the expected results that we're going to see. This amount that you see, 6160, is after the increase of 10% into it, that we're looking to increase in 1 year. Next, increase in customer long-time life. Customer lifetime value is valued when your model is making the customer stick to you. So increasing that as well by 7.9%. Have a revenue increase by 2.7% overall with your new acquisitions. Last but not the least, we want to have customer retention up to 4.8% more than we actually have today.
Now, conclusion. We don't want our customer to leave us. Nobody wants. So we are trying to, we are trying to get the people connected to us with a longer time, and we are not letting us to install our app. So now we are trying to convert freemium subscribers, the people who are using for free in initial days, to a premium subscriber to increase by 5% till to 2020. Increase the net promoter score from 66 to 75 is our target, is our expected target we have in our conclusion. Now, thank you. And these are the data we got from, and we analyzed, and we are reporting you something from these leads. Okay, thank you.
Questions? Yeah, if you could go back to the short-term goals. I think you have a lot of short-term goals, so I was wondering first, what is short-term for you? Like, is it a year or 2 years? And are you implying that you're gonna do everything and then measure if actually it increased the customer's user experience? Are you gonna do some A/B testing along the way?
Okay, so our short-term goal, we wish to achieve this goal within 1 year. So initially we said we were going to implement our strategy the last quarter of this year, and then we'll measure our results by the end of 2020. And what was the second question again?
Well, are you gonna measure like if actually it increased the customer user experience, or
Okay, so
because it's a lot of different things and.
So initially our problem statement is the terrible user experience. That is our main problem. So we just listed out the things that make up the terrible experience, you know. So in order to achieve resolve that problem, our main goal is to improve the whole customer user experience. So what goes into improving that customer user experience? And these are the list of things that we wish to do to improve the whole customer user experience. The whole problem is for the apps and the platforms, the TV apps that our users are using. So these are the things that account or add up to the user experience. So you're just listing them out. But our main goal is to just improve the whole customer user experience, that's all.
I have 2 questions. If you would go to the next slide, please. So in the beginning you said that that this company is the market leader in India because they have great content, but they have problems in the customer experience. So how does that fit to you saying that there is no original content and all they use is like Netflix content and HBO content?
I think Netflix already has HBO has already a good content like Games of Thrones and all. People in India do watch Games of Thrones. I don't know. I don't watch this kind of stuff. So, Games of Thrones. I don't know. So, Game of Thrones. So these things are for people who are already watching this kind of show, but they don't have their original content. Like in India, there are many languages.
There are also a lot of different channels where we pull the content. Hotstar is not making or producing its original content. That's what I think.
Yeah.
And they have the best mixture of everything.
Yes.
Okay.
Probably they will have.
Okay. And then second question, if you would go to the financial slide. How did you come up with all those numbers?
Sorry?
How did you come up with all those?
Which one to be precise?
Basically everything. Did you make the calculation, or what was?
So the first number that an expected result, the first one that you see is after calculating 10%. The current is 10% lower than this. If you just subtract 616 out of 6160, is that they actually stand right now. So we just wanted to increase 10% into it. And the next one that you come up to see is 2.7 is that we calculated in our first quarter to be increased. If you're substantially looking at that much growth, it ranges between 2.7 to 2.89. So we just took the least measure out of it, not that much. Last but if you look at customer acquisition, the main concern for us was not customer acquisition. Main concern for us was the retention. The retention has been dropping really a lot, so we wanted to increase the retention up to 4.8% out of the customer that they're losing. they drop out of the users are 6 users in every 3 days. So we want to increase and retain those customers.
Thank you.
So,
My question was like, as you mentioned that there is, you want to sync all the devices like worldwide from wherever a user wants to use this, that data has to be synchronized. So don't you think this is like kind of risk to data getting leaked in case like, for example, people may use.
sorry to cut you out, but we want to sync the data to the account. So like how you Netflix, your data is saved in your account, not on your. So in this, data is saved on your device. So if I'm watching on my phone and I log into the next phone and in my other hand, I will not be able to continue from the same content that I was watching, like how I can do it on Netflix. I want to store it in an
I
account.
think these two words will answer a question. User account.
User account.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to like log in
Yeah.
to the account and then same has to be like saved. Okay.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
So one of the good that you guys have at least the main business problem that you're trying to solve in the short term. You're going to generate a lot of content from a data perspective, not from I'm just saying a lot of data that you have to generate, because once you start figuring out that the person has watched at this point and you need to save it into the account, then the device is much easier. You're pulling it to the back end, means a lot of data. 75 million customers, every single video, what have they watched and what not, that's a lot of data. So question is, infrastructure-wise, what are you guys recommending? Are you saying that their current system is scalable? Are you recommending something different? What are you guys recommending?
So basically 3 key points that we all looked at was A, they're based on mainly cricket. So they do not have skip or fast forward or any of those activities. So you have to literally struggle to make changes into that. B, that whenever they have an ad block, it covers more than half of your screen. So 3/4 of your screen is completely covered. Last but not the least, Indians are stuck to it because of the majority of the content that they provide. They are in process, they have raised 596, if I'm not wrong, 96 to 97 million to acquire Netflix content as well. So they are literally not into theirs, they're trying to acquire everybody. But if they keep doing it in the same way, Netflix is original and they're trying to create content from India as well. They will overrun them.
Yeah, no, probably you didn't understand my question.
So I can answer that
I'm
one.
gonna, sorry, I'll try. So they are scalable. They are doing good job. But in terms of cricket, because cricket is like everybody watches cricket there. But in terms of like regional languages, regional shows, they don't have like so much expertise right now. So what we are trying to do, we are using machine learning expert or data scientists to gather these issues and so resolve that issues to get a bigger picture and to create their own content like Netflix is doing. You can see like Mirzapur, there are many shows acquired by Amazon Prime and Netflix. They are doing the same, but Hotstar, yeah, they are not doing the same.
Yeah, no, the main question, the
So
issue
it's a-
is,
So yeah, regarding the data infrastructure, Hotstar already have. They are using S3 as the data lake and then Redshift as data warehouse. And it's about leveraging and utilizing all those what they have, just like the their partnership with Japper Media Analytics.
that would have been good to explain in there, because otherwise the scalability aspect is not clear.
Yeah, they do have already in place. We just are asking like leveraging all those what they have to improve the user experience.
What about the data organization? What kind of organization are you guys implementing when you need to build all of this expertise in house? What's the organization aspect? So you have mentioned this. Are you going with centralized, hybrid?
It's a hybrid.
It's a hybrid.
It's a hybrid.
Okay, so you need to, yeah, you should mention that. All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.